Howdy folks, Danny with BullDogSmithFarms back with another episode of Good News Daily with Danny. And we got a lot of good news going on.
We are live at Blade Show.
We have got, some cool things going on that you may have heard of, maybe you hadn't, but I like to tell good news. And I'm going to start off with something from the Trump administration that is a really big deal. And people who've not been in trucking, traveling the country, probably, maybe it doesn't hit you quite the same. But I want to tell you about this and tell you this is a big deal. It really is a big deal. So the President Trump and Trump administration Secretary Duffy host vets at White House to promote new Freedom Haulers campaign to put more American patriots behind the wheel of big rigs. Now, so this is on several levels here, all right? You've got getting illegals off the road. They've taken, what did I hear? Around the high 20s, almost 30,000 drivers off the road that were here illegal driver's license, given it to them legally by the states, but they can't legally just hand out CDLs. A CDL is not a state driver's license, and not a CDLA isn't. It's for driving over the road across the country. That makes it a federal driver's license. If you are just going to drive in your state, you can have a Class B, but you cannot have, or C, but you cannot have a Class A CDL without taking the proper test, doing the right road training, and all of that. Well, you have to be able to speak English to take these tests, because you got to be able to read road signs for one thing. All right. It takes 3 months to go through truck driving school. They put us Americans through a lot to get a CDL. Because there's safety on the road for you, for all the other people on the road, for how to tie a load, it goes in depth. And I'm a smart guy. I passed tests easily. I had to really work. Now, I was top in my class. I can't stand to not be. And I aced everything. But still, I had to really work for that. And so these states like California and Illinois and stuff are just handing them out like candy to people that can't even speak English. And then they're getting out here on the road and doing stupid stuff like the one in Florida, making a U-turn across like the turnpike or something, killed 3 people. That ain't the only one. There's been at least, a dozen of them since then. So the Trump administration has been getting them off the road. How they got by with DOT? Because, man, look, they aggravated us to death trying to take money out of our pocket every week. Non-stop, man. You couldn't make one tiny mistake. But these guys are out there driving all over the country and nobody's catching them at way stations and stuff. Nobody. They're all making it past every way station every single time. Tens of thousands of them. Come on, guys. The government helps the government. And it ain't got nothing to do with me and you. And that's the problem with the country right now. But look, this is awesome news. Getting illegals off the road. They've taken about 30,000 licenses and got 30,000 more. It was something like 28 and 29. But right there around 60,000 so far, they've gotten off the road. Come on, man. And drivers hadn't been able to get jobs out here, ain't making a living, all that, because they're paying these guys less money. These big, giant trucking companies, they're all in cahoots with that mess. So your little guy, little owner-operator, maybe he's got 2 or 3 trucks. You know, guy that maybe he's got 10 trucks now. We got one right across the road that does that. And a couple, one down the road that way, and one down there in Scottsboro. We got a bunch of them around here that just own a few trucks, right? And maybe we call it a small fleet, 10, 15 trucks, right? Those guys have a hard road to hoe trying to make a living. And drivers out there have a hard time. You're away from home all the time. 24/7, you're away from home all the time. That's a big sacrifice. And then on top of that, you've got to be on your toes all the time for DOT. Yet these people are out there driving, they can't even speak English. Come on now. So there's something up with that, right? Well, the Trump administration has been working on that. Hey, look, guys, I understand not liking Donald Trump. I don't really even like Donald Trump. Many things I don't like about him. I sure do like a lot of things he's been doing. And you got to get past hating somebody so much that you can't just see any good that they do. You know, when it was Barack Obama, I had to overlook all kinds of stuff. And once in a while go, I think that's a pretty good thing he's doing. Now, 90% of what he did has got us where we are. Illegals. Who opened the floodgates? Barack Obama. Who opened the floodgates to all these people coming from the Middle East and North Africa and all over Africa to Europe? That was Barack Obama. The world's in all turned upside down because Barack Obama caused terrible problems in the Middle East and then said, you got to accept these people. So I get being against somebody. I get just not liking somebody. I don't like Donald Trump. A lot of his demeanor and stuff I could do without. Matter of fact, I didn't vote for him the first time because of that stuff. Lying about people, calling people names, but at the same time, I gotta go. Many of the things I've wanted to be done all my life that Republicans promised to do and Democrats promised to do when they were lying never got done, and they've got done now. You got to be able to see the forest for the trees, right? So getting them off the road. Now, this thing is made to make it as easy as possible for veterans to go from driving in the military or even not driving in the military, but through a little different route, right? To being truck drivers on the road. If you could drive that big old truck in the military, you can't drive that semi on the road. It's the same thing, y'all. So up to now, see, an illegal could come in the country and bam, get a license, a CDL license. And a veteran gets out of the military after being over in Iraq or something, Afghanistan or whatever, and have to go to 3 months of truck driving school. Come on, man. We can't do better than that. These are the people who signed on the line that said, all the way up to my life. I'm putting that on line for y'all. And we can't do them no better than that. I've said since I was in the military, why don't we train our military for a real job? But why don't we just train people in general out here for the real jobs that are available, that are out there, that people need people? Instead, we bring them from India. And Donald Trump's been part of that. And he loves that. See, I don't like that about him. See? Now he's not talking about that because people like me, people like some of y'all said, no, we don't want that. he actually kind of listens. He might still believe it. As a business person, he might still be like, no, I need them people. How about this? Donald Trump, I don't care who you are. How about this? How about we make training school and make it easy and make people be able to afford to go, like working people that got to pay the bills every month until they get out of the school. How about we make it possible for them instead of bringing people from other countries over here and paying them twice as much as what our people are making? And that's been happening, y'all. But young people over here can't find a job. Meanwhile, we're just shipping people in here and paying them double and letting them be on welfare at the same time. Ask me how I know. I will tell you some stories. People that are here and they've been given free loans, free business loans, zero interest business loans, zero taxes for set amount of years. Guess what they do when the amount of years comes up? They transfer it to an uncle or a nephew or a brother. And the cycle just goes. They never pay interest and don't pay taxes. And they will be the owners of the business in your town and be down there at the welfare office and on Medicaid. And you can't get none of that. And no training for sure. No free loans. No, none of that for American citizens. We do that for other people that we haul in here. So, praise the Lord, and thank you, Donald Trump, for stopping this illegal immigration. Today, what just happened today? Pouring across the border over into Spain. Tens of thousands. They just elected a communist. He's a socialist. And they just pouring in there. He just made 1.5 million of him illegal. So tens of thousands of more flooded on the border from Morocco. And guess what that means? They can travel anywhere within the European Union freely. It's an invasion, y'all. And Barack Obama largely started that. He definitely amped it up. There was all kind of stuff going on wrong, including with Republicans before that, but he opened the spigot, y'all. So we've got illegals pouring into countries. It's to destroy the West. But Donald Trump's done something about it here, y'all. That is good news. He's done something about illegal immigration. Is that not good news? That is some good news daily with Danny. Now, let me get to the second part of this. Making it easier for veterans to get truck driving jobs and training at CDLs. You come out of there knowing how to drive a semi, you go down and get you a CDL. And I'm sure that you got to pass the test and all. So you got to read the book, and because you got to know air brakes, you got to know stupid stuff that you'll never know. You know how it is, just like college. But I'm not out there adjusting brakes today. Ain't 1940. But it is good to know how to look down there and see how they're doing. I'm fixing to go out to Colorado. It's going to be big old giant mountains. Maybe I want to take a look at them and see if they look pretty good or not. If they're adjusted pretty good or not. We've got Donald Trump, the Trump administration, Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, who's actually doing the job of being a transportation secretary, unlike the last one they just gave the job because he likes to put it in men's butt. Well, he likes other men to put it in his butt. It's not an off ramp, it's on ramp. That's why he got that job. He didn't do nothing doing that job. He was terrible at every job he's ever had. He ain't done nothing. He's been terrible at it. But give him the job. DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, y'all. Does he know anything about transportation? Well, he had potholes filled in a little town that he was a mayor of, and they say he didn't even do that good. So we actually have a transportation secretary who's fixing transportation problems, and of course the news wants to be on here telling you that it's all their fault. Nothing happened before today, So they signed this today. They announced this today that all of these veterans are going to be able to come right out of the military and go to driving a truck and make a decent living. Getting rid of these illegals that they can pay less will help make it where these guys can make a living. They'll have to pay you a living. See, that's why they want to haul all these people in here, so that they can pay them less, so they don't have to pay you. Then you're out there on the road killing yourself away from your family and making 50 grand a year, 25, 30. To make that 100, you got to kill yourself, and then that's illegal. See, they make it illegal, so they make it as hard as they can on you. So get our military that can drive a truck out here driving trucks. The ones that didn't drive a truck in the military, get them training they need in a short amount of time. Compact that down to, they know how to drive. They need to learn how to back a trailer, what to do and not to do, like making U-turns on the interstate with a trailer behind you. That they teach you that. I learned that. Because you know what? You go, there ain't nobody behind me for a long way, but by the time you make that thing turn, they're already there, and they ain't expecting a semi to be across the road, y'all. You know how they are. They're probably on the phone. They might be talking to each other. Just takes one little thing. You ain't supposed to be driving that semi, making a U-turn across the road. And so get them that can drive out here driving. Get the ones that hadn't driven before, get them trained up, and make it where they can afford to go to the training. And the training don't take 3 months. You get them in there, get them trained good, get them out. Get them out there making money. And in the meantime, you need to be paying them. We ought to spend money training our own citizens how to do good paying work. We need construction workers. We need electricians. We need carpenters. We need plumbers. We need all these kind of people. We need people that work on farms. We need people that know how to fix a tractor. We need people that do all kinds of things here. We need people that know how to work in a factory. We need to be opening more factories and see a lot of this stuff starting to happen now. And we've got half the United States citizens hating it. Guys, please open your eyes. Turn CNN and MSNBC off for a minute. Just turn it off for a minute and look around. Talk to somebody that you think you disagree with. See what the heck's really going on in the world. People have lost their minds. I've got some friends that have lost their ever-loving minds. These people used to be able to think right, but they have let this thing grow in them and get roots in them like a fungus. And all they seem to know is this one story that they tell over there, and they've never even tried to hear what you say. That I've had a friend unfriend me for the second time in years, and I was just nice to him. And he wanted to come over here and yell and scream on my Facebook all the time. And he just couldn't stand seeing me post things that he doesn't agree with. Something's wrong with you if you can't stand to see somebody disagree with you. Guys, there's something wrong with that. That you can't even abide someone disagreeing with you. That you can't listen to what they say. Maybe consider it. Maybe go, no, they're wrong. But, that's their business. They can think what they want. That's what we have to. I have to do that. I had to do with that every time he come on my Facebook, because I never went on his Facebook attacking him. And all along just saying, dude, if you just keep this up, I'm going to have to come back at you. And then you ain't going to like it, and then it's going to be my fault. And that's what happened. I come back at him one time and just, hey, here's why you're wrong, and just laid it out. There wasn't no calling names. There wasn't no, you're stupid, nothing. Here's why you're wrong. Here's the fact. Go look it up. Here it is. It's right here. I'll just hand it to you. You don't even got to look it up. Here it is. Just lay out the truth. Cannot abide it. Cannot abide it, y'all. Can't do it. No. I hate you and everything you stand for. And man, this is a guy I love. To this day, I love him. And I'm going to keep loving him. Who knows? Maybe one day he'll wake up and go, what was I thinking? I sure hope so. That's my prayer. Lord, please bring my brother the truth and throw it on him so in a way that he cannot deny it. That means you, the Lord, bring yourself on him and throw yourself on him where he cannot deny you. Because if he'll get a hold of you, Lord, the other truth will start seeping in. See, I'm trying to attack it from this side of the information. Information don't do nothing for them, y'all. Because there's an evil spirit behind all this mess. And trying to bring them to the Lord, well, that don't work because they hate the Lord. They don't want him. They don't want to hear nothing about him. Got another buddy. He'll talk to you all day about some things, but boy, you mention the Lord. And he'll even talk to you about God as long as you keep it in this, gelatinous form. But you start talking about Jesus and you've got to do what the Lord says, and no, sirree. I can't believe in a God that would send people to hell. Well, then you don't believe in God. Because he says right there that there's a place for the good, the righteous, and a place for the wicked. And what you do on this earth is going to determine that. Well, that's why I don't believe in that mess. But I do kind of believe a little bit of Buddha, a little bit of Hindu, a little bit of this other thing. And I just took all this stuff and mixed it up. And, well, that's the devil. That's the devil, y'all. So we got two good news, right? Illegals off the road, veterans in that seat. You get veterans in them seats. They make money. They raise families. America does good. You get them illegals in that seat. They make money. Our citizens don't. They send that money back home. America does not prosper. And that's the plan, y'all. I don't know if you ever heard of Howard and Piven plan. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hillary and Barack Obama and Joe Biden's hero, Saul Alinsky, and his book, Rules for Radicals. If you never heard of them things, you should ask yourself why. You might want to ask CNN why. Or why you've only heard of them in a positive light. Read some, man. Read some stuff. Read some stuff. Look some stuff up. We live in a time where you can learn anything. It's at the tip of your finger. You got to search it out some, because the lie comes easy. The lie is the first thing Google will show you. Get you a duck now. Go to Ask over there. It'll give you different answers. It's not filtered through the "is this liberal" filter. So we got two good news for Danny's right there. We got illegals being taken off the road and arrested, license taken and or arrested, taken off the road, whatever. So we got 60,000 people like that. That's crazy. Then we got tens of thousands of veterans that are fixing to start pouring in them seats. to give those truck driving companies that are going, what the heck do we do now? Well, you shouldn't have been hiring them people to begin with. You should have been paying people a fair wage. And then the rates, the shipping rates just got to be what the shipping rates are. That's what it costs. If everybody has that cost, then the shippers just got to pay what it costs to ship something instead of 70% or 60 or 50% of what it should cost. And starving American truck drivers out of the seat, or they got to go find something else to do. And a lot of places there ain't nothing else to do. I live in Northeast Alabama. You know what? There's slim, especially since they closed all the factories down. Imagine this: you live in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, middle of nowhere, Colorado, man, middle of nowhere. What is there to do? Drive a truck. That's what there is to do, y'all. And you know what? Well, I don't care about all that. Really, you don't. Do you like having toilet paper to wipe your tail with? A truck driver brought that. Yep, a truck driver brought the paper from the mill. They brought the trees. A truck driver bought the trees from the woods over there. Truck drivers got them out of the woods. Equipment operators and truck drivers got them trees cut down and loaded up. And then that truck driver drives it to a mill, and they mill it and paper pulp it and all that stuff. And then it goes from there to a place that makes the paper, y'all. Truck driver drives that over there, and then they pick it up from there and they drive it to plant where they make the toilet paper. Napkins, straws, like all the things you use that are paper. That's just paper. That's just paper. Lumber, steel, car parts. Y'all ever need any of that stuff? How about groceries? You need groceries, you need fruit? A truck brings that. They don't tote that down there on their shoulder. A truck driver brings that. Do you like cereal? How about meat? Truck drivers, man. If you have it, a truck driver brought it. And they probably brought something from somewhere to somewhere else to somewhere else, somewhere else, and then to you. And now you don't even have to go get it. Somebody will get in their car and drive it to your house from Walmart. How about we starve them to death and just have illegals out here doing that and breaking in your house, scoping your house out while they're there? How about we do that? Do things only matter when they smack you right in the face? Is that the only time things matter? Is if they smack you right across the face? Guys, this stuff is evil. And those of you that are supporting this evil, let me tell you what the Bible says about that. I know you don't care because it ain't real. But the Bible says, not only will the evildoers be thrown into fire like a bunch of cut off branches, but the ones that support them in doing the evil, I hate to tell y'all, that's a whole bunch of y'all. A whole bunch of y'all that I would love to spend eternity with. If you're the guy that I used to know. But something's changed. So we've got good news on illegals getting taken out of these seats, their licenses being taken away, put in jail. We got good news on veterans going to have those truck driving jobs. And we got good news that is going to make the economy better. Good News Daily with Danny. And then I heard another story. And this one was this young boy, teenage boy, and he saved somebody out of the ocean that was drowning, was just taking them under. Saved this little kid, I believe. I meant to look that up, and maybe I will and put out a separate video on it. But, and y'all, my wife told me about it, and I was like, really? Because my body's been yanking me down again. I ain't been able to hardly get myself to do nothing. Went to the doctor today to find out if one of these years ago, I've had chronic fatigue that I can't even explain for several decades now, and never got nobody to really look at it. They just wouldn't. Doctors will ignore you. And I had so much stuff going on at some point that we've just had to work through it one by one because the doctors are ignoring me, right? But I used to get ate up by ticks every hunting season, ate up with them. And so we're checking to see if maybe I've got Lyme disease or had Rocky Mountain fever in the past. So checking on some things. And my protein level's a little low, but other than that, my health is better, and it's been a long time. So I should be feeling good, but I go through these dips where I just cannot make myself do stuff. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not depressed. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not depressed like, woe is me. None of that. I just want to sleep all the time. And I got videos to make, and I want to make them. But it's like just trying to drag myself to do something, anything. So this young boy, he dove in there and waves. When I saw the video, I was like, wow, man, that really is. I mean, I'm talking about waves right at the beach that are 7-8 foot high, crashing at the beach, not out there, rolling in, crashing 7-8 foot high. It was rough. There was 3 or 4 or 5 men tried to get in there to help get I believe it was a young boy out of there. And they're all it's knocking them around like rag dolls. Knocked him, the boy that went out there to save him, like lifeguard, I imagine, 16-year-old, something like that. It knocked him way over there with another man because he's trying to help him, and it knocked both of them over there, and knocked 3 or 4 of them over there with that boy. It was rough. But look, everybody's fine. Everybody's doing good because of the bravery of one young man, and then the bravery of 4 or 5 men getting in there to help, right? But no reason for 5 or 6 men to all swim out there together. That ain't gonna help nothing, right? But that boy got out there and getting the boy back, and when it got to where it was really rough, them other men were getting in there trying to help. That's what men are supposed to do, y'all. Get in there and help. Get in there and help. This world will be a much better place, men, if you'll get up and be men. Quit letting the world tell you you're supposed to be like women. You are not. They ain't supposed to be like you, by the way. They ain't supposed to be like you. And we like them different, right? We like them painting their fingernails and makeup and being pretty and wearing pretty clothes. We love that, right? But we're men. It's our job to train up young men to be good men. It's our job to take on the role, being a man, stand up against what's wrong. It don't matter who likes it or lumps it. If you lose friends over it, hey, here I am. You lose friends over it. You lose family over it. Here I am. You lose family. Whatever. You've got to put everything on the line to stand up for the truth. Your wife ain't gonna like it sometimes, maybe never. Your children ain't gonna like it sometimes, maybe never. Your friends, maybe. Strangers, people on social media. If you stand up for the truth, they ain't gonna like it. Jesus said, if they hated me, they're gonna hate you. And because I told the truth and did what was right, and they hated me and killed me for it, so they're gonna do the same stuff, y'all. Well, then why should we expect anything different? Just accept it. It's the cost of doing business, of being a man. So it's a good day. It's a good day because the world's evil. But we've got men fighting back. And I will say one thing about Donald Trump. I don't like some of the way he talks, and you know, I know he's got to be brilliant in ways to have accomplished what he's accomplished. And he's also kind of seems dumb, right? The way he talks. But so what? Rocky sounds dumb, but he whooped some tail, didn't he? You know who else talked like Rocky? Sylvester Stallone. They were like, there ain't no way we're going to have him play that part. He sounds like he's got a mouthful of marbles. Well, can you imagine anybody else playing that part? He is Rocky. It's his life story, literally. He just took it from trying to be an actor and writer to trying to be a boxer and transferred his life story over. You got to take everything they give you. They got to take every punch and get back up, keep going. That's being a man. Women don't understand that, y'all. They just don't. They don't understand it. It's okay. They ain't supposed to. They ain't supposed to be having to take a punch. Not even from each other, right? They mostly talk their fights. And men do too. Boys do. Talk until they run into somebody that won't talk. They'll just knock them down and put it into running their mouth like a little girl. So I'm gonna end that one, and I'll make some shorts out of this so other people can find them. But y'all be blessed and keep your powder dry and keep your blade sharp, because we're living in perilous times, y'all. But there's good news all around us. You got to find the good news. And sometimes the good news is just real men are getting up and fighting. Donald Trump's a fighter. I don't know. You can say a lot of things about him. You can't say he ain't a fighter. That dude will fight. Now, has he ever been in a fist fight? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I can tell you somebody ain't never been in one. Joe Biden. You know who runs their mouth like that? People ain't never took a punch. Run their mouth. They ain't never had nobody make them back it up. Or they wouldn't talk like that. Because, see, men don't talk like that to one another. I'll take you behind the woodshed and wear you out. Well, I just don't hit you. Come on, man. You know when that talk comes out, the one that don't want to throw a punch, that don't want to take a punch. They wouldn't mind if they could just hit you and run off. One that don't want to take a punch, that's the one running their mouth over there. Well, I'd courage. So, women, encourage your men to be men. Encourage your men to be men. Raise your boys to be men, not little girls. If you want to train some girls, get some girls to train. If you don't have any, go find you some in your local community. Be a Girl Scout leader or something. Men, start getting these boys out and teaching them how to hunt and fish and plow and saw and cut and nail and build and do things. Stand up for what's right. Read the Bible. Get out and get these young men engaged in being young men. Because we've had 2 generations, or at least one good long generation, of men being told that they need to be like women, and women being told they need to be like men. And women, the only good man is a woman. A man can't be a good man, you see, because they're just flawed. Because they're not women. But women need to be like men. See, the devil's thinking's always circular. Entangled. So, y'all, please, get out there. Make some good news. and tell me about it. I want to know all about it. I just sent a thing for some Christian scouting to a bunch of friends of mine today. Do something like that. All right? All right. Y'all meet me back next time for some more good news daily with Danny at BullDogSmithFarms here at DannyLinksCalling. And I'll see you then. Bye.